National Nutrition Natural Health Reviews. 3 minutes of the latest naturopathic info with Canada's leading nutrition experts. Watch, learn, and get healthy naturally.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Beatty, naturopathic doctor and a health expert here at nationalnutrition.ca. Today, I want to discuss a topic that can be very emotional and can affect a lot of people and their families, and that topic is drug addiction. Now, when we discuss this topic, people often think that we're just going to be talking about street drugs or illegal drugs, when in actuality, a lot of drug addiction occurs with prescription pharmaceuticals as well, things that your doctor's prescribed and you've developed an addiction to. So what do I mean by addiction first and foremost? Well, what it is it's a physiological or psychological symptom that occurs upon withdrawal of the substance. So when you've become addicted when you remove the substance and the person gets sick or has some negative effect of the removal of that substance. That's truly what addiction is, and actually it's very, very common amongst pharmaceutical drugs. These drugs often work by having an impact on a very specific biological system or biological pathway that your body needs to function. And what your body does is it tries to adapt to that medication being present or that drug being present, and this adaptation is what leads to the withdrawal symptoms. The body is expecting that that drug's going to be there, and it's behaving as if that drug's going to be there and either enhance or block a specific pathway in the system. And when that doesn't happen, that pathway goes awry and it makes the person feel ill. Now, withdrawal symptoms, they can be as simple as, a mild headache, or in the most severe case, it can actually be fatal. So the withdrawal of the drug can cause such a change in the biological system that it causes it to fail and that person to pass away. So with drug withdrawal and drug addiction is no laughing matter. And again, this happens very commonly amongst even pharmaceutical and properly prescribed medications. In fact, one of the biggest areas, a class of drugs known as SSRIs, or selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. It's a class of drugs often used as antidepressants, and these drugs, when they're withdrawn suddenly, can actually cause a condition known as Serotonin Syndrome, which can cause irreversible brain damage, or at severe cases even cause death. So this is where we're talking about something that could be used as prescribed, but can create addiction, and therefore even coming off a prescribed medication should be done in concert with your doctor or the prescribing physician. So really important that you understand drug addiction doesn't just happen with street drugs, but it does happen as well with any type of pharmaceutical. And best to discuss with your doctor if you ever want to discontinue use of a drug, or let's say your prescription runs out. It's important that you get it filled so that you don't end up having some of these withdrawal symptoms. Now, when we talk about coming off of a drug, let's say you've become addicted to either a street drug or a pharmaceutical drug, and you need to come off of it, definitely work with your healthcare practitioner. But there are some natural supplements you might want to discuss with them that may actually help either manage your symptoms or reduce the withdrawal symptoms. So if you have a lot of cramping, which is a very common side effect of drug withdrawal or a very common effect of drug withdrawal, one of the things you're going to want to supplement with is magnesium. Magnesium can actually help relax and relieve a lot of cramping, and some people even find it relieves the anxiety they feel when they're coming off of a medication. Other things to consider, if you've got a narcotic addiction, so that could be on the street level, something like heroin, or pharmaceutically, something like Oxycontin or another type of narcotic drug, you'd want to look at using something like Tyrosine. Tyrosine and as well as a herb called valerian. They've both been well studied for managing withdrawal from narcotics in particular. Narcotics are a very specific class of opium-derived medications and street drugs, and so if you've got a narcotic addiction, definitely work with your physician. There are other medications that can be used to help manage withdrawal symptoms, but look into things like Tyrosine and valerian to also help with your withdrawal symptoms. In addition to, sometimes people experience nerve pain or depression in response to coming off a medication. St. John's wort can be very, very effective at managing this effect or this withdrawal symptom. Again, it can interact with a variety of medications, so do discuss it with your doctor before you use it, but it can be a very, very safe alternative and it can actually really help manage withdrawal symptoms. So if you or someone you know or a loved one suffers with some sort of drug addiction, definitely help them to seek help. I mean, the downside to drug addiction is it can ruin lives, and so it's something that people will need help and support through. Sometimes people will fail their first attempt at quitting a drug. They might fail at their second or third or fourth. That doesn't mean we give up on them. We continue to provide them assistance no matter how many tries it takes them to kick the habit. I mean, some things can be very, very addictive, and especially when there's other types of emotional traumas and other stressors that aren't being addressed, it can make it even harder for that person to alleviate their drug addiction. Try and be supportive of somebody who's trying to conquer addiction. And again, hopefully some of these supplements will help reduce withdrawal symptoms so that you can have success kicking your addiction. If you have any questions or comments, post them below. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and always remember that knowledge is health.